Hello YouTube, this is Insta 5012 with an update on the T-Mobile Sprint merger. This is an update about a merger with T-Mobile and Sprint. Last time we talked about like towers just coming in to be a fourth carrier. They would get be the fourth carrier in the competitive market of cell phone service. Right now, it looks like the merger could be in trouble a little bit because T-Mobile wants this merger pushed now. Also, the other issue is at the moment with the T-Mobile merger is that the towers they need to complete the merger they cannot get, or they can't not get the 5G and all that. Um, the other question is from this video is this T-Mobile is just gonna be enough to push through these merger? At the moment, I do not know, but it could be a possibility. It could be. It could not be. But I want you to listen to what he has to say for a minute or two about this, and listen and enjoy for a couple seconds.
So definitely check that out. The description down below. It's about a 12-minute video, but it's very informational. So right now it's becoming a cash race. Who has the bigger bucks, the more power? The big two are pulling ahead, and most analysts are predicting up to a 20% increase into next year's capital investment, which Sprint and T-Mobile cannot match.
So what he's saying is it's 20% capital for next year. Like T-Mobile and Sprint cannot catch up, but T-Mobile wants to catch up to Verizon in the market of competitors and smaller competitors. So they want to make more money, so they want this merger to go through now as opposed to in December or November, so they can make the money that they need to make and catch Verizon. This is why they want this merger to go through right around now, or now, not later, so they can make that 20% capital increase. They can't match. My main issue with it right now is that right now, currently, with Sprint customers having problems with their service data, or worse, having cellular droppage in some places, I think this really would help out customers that are on Sprint right now. And right now, Sprint cannot do that. I don't know if they could catch up in the market. But also, because they're competing with T-Mobile, they're competing with AT&T, and they're competing with Verizon. And the major issue is its pricing and what their service bills. And remember, if you have a flex lease with a Sprint right now, and it's 18 months or 12, be mindful about when you can upgrade or not. Because if you upgrade too early and it's not in the 12-month period, they will charge you a fee. Okay, I know this is going off the merger a little bit, but let me go breaking down. Breaking down what they do with leases and stuff between all the carriers. Now, all of them will have a flex lease or not. It depends on what carrier you go with. Now, for example, Sprint has a flex lease for 18 months. But in stipulations for that, if you do not upgrade when you hit that 12-month upgrade mark, or before then, before you upgrade before, excuse me. If you hit that 18-month flex lease, but you don't hit that 12-month mark where you can upgrade, you upgrade early, they will charge you a fee on top of your next phone. And if you don't pay off the lease and your phone's not paid off in general, it will cost you more money for the next phone on top of what your remaining balance is on your current phone. And this applies to all the other three carriers. So I don't know how this is going to affect leasing with Sprint customers right now with that have Flex leasing on iPhones, Samsungs, and Google Pixels at the moment until we figure out what it is. Now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, but you could just go to another carrier. Well, it depends. Some carriers will take your phone. Do you want to directly go to your last carrier and have them pay it for you? Because then after that, but what the catch is with that is, you like for instance, you switch to T-Mobile, you cannot get their promotions if you do that. I mean, the other option that they give, if they do the other option, or you get the option where you take their promotions and they pay off the phones, you can take their promotions. But if they do it, they pay off the phones. But if they go to Sprint, you cannot get the promotions. So basically, what looks like right now with the merger, now back to the merger, it looks like there's going to be a big investment capital gain here if this happens. But that's a good thing for competition, but this could be a monopoly situation. I think this is why the lawsuit stemmed in the first place. Here, listen to this guy for a little bit longer, what he has to say on this. I'm not totally sure going into it, the mechanics of it.
As a standalone, they can't even match it. They probably couldn't even match it as a combined company, but
So he's saying that the capital that other carriers are making, like Verizon and AT&T, they can't even match, even if they were combined. But really, at this point, I don't even care. I don't think customers at the point with Sprint or T-Mobile care, as long as Sprint customers can get the same quality service that customers right now on T-Mobile's services. In my opinion, is I don't care who you are. I don't care what company you are. If you want to merge and make a better service for customers that are struggling at the moment with service and get a better customer experience, I'd rather do it. But because there's so much backlash and certain states are wanting to sue, it's a major issue with this merger is that a lot of states are suing because it's a monopoly. They think it's a monopoly situation with everything. I with my opinion on it is, I think it would help out customers and customers as a whole because they get on the T-Mobile network. They will get better reliable. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired, but it will help out customers in the long run. And I've seen major titans fall because they can't get mergers to go through. Right now, I don't know what capital Sprint is. I think the stocks are good. But right now, a lot of people have been switching over the past 2 to 3 years over to T-Mobile or Verizon from Sprint Mobile Incorporated to get better coverage in the States, get better coverage overseas. Not just better coverage overseas, but better royal coverage. That Sprint doesn't really offer good royal coverage. You could go, especially here in Georgia, is a big dead spot issues in a lot of areas that people that have Sprint. Major drop off.
since they have that spectrum and more money on top of what T-Mobile has already built, it's going to allow them to compete a lot better, gain more customers potentially because they have the capacity to fill.
No, now he's saying, what he's saying on this is if they merge, it will get. Hold on, let me go back and
which
see
in
what
the
he
long
said.
already built, it's going to allow them to compete a lot better.
It'll allow T-Mobile to compete a lot better, get better service.
Gain more customers.
Yeah, especially gain more customer and revenue. Better service for customers as well with their 5G network. I'm going to say their 5G and 4G networks are the best. You're done testing myself because I'm not of age. but I understand that. I bet a lot of people that have T-Mobile or are a subsidiary of T-Mobile, they have the best network in the country besides Verizon. I'm gonna say the best top two in the country. I'm gonna say Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. I'm gonna say they charge a little bit too much. They charge way too much, and their service is mediocre. And and for Sprint, where you're currently, Sprint has a lot of issues with drop off and call issues and yada 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 and such.
potentially because they have the capacity to fill, which in the long run will
And they also have the capacity to fill customers.
allow them to also spend more money in the future.
And they'll be able to spend more money in the future on upgrading towers, upgrading technologies, R&Ding it, such yada yada and such, and even maybe modernize their stores even more like they are right now. Like right now, their stores look very sleek, modern, and very nice inside, and such.
But now the main claim from T-Mobile is that Sprint, as it stands with the debt and the cash shortage that they're having, they can no longer be compete. They just can't compete.
And he's talking about that they're short of cash right now, so they're not able to compete. My opinion is they are competing very well. In my opinion, they're stealing a lot of Sprint customers. I think at the moment, they will rope in customers from Sprint if they have to. I don't even complain because that's a good thing for them. Because some Sprint customers are not satisfied with a lot of things with Sprint. The only thing I think a lot of people are not satisfied with is I'm gonna say three things they're not satisfied: bandwidth, coverage in their area, and especially pricing and leasing of phones with them. And I'm gonna add an extra one in here: customer service over the phone, not in person, or actually customer service in general with a Sprint representative or on the phone or online.
Now, my question is, and this is where my opinion comes into play, we're now looking at Dish Network becoming a fourth carrier if the T-Mobile and Sprint merger does get approved, which, as days go by, in my opinion, is becoming more and more of a long shot as you really push the numbers and the analytics. It shows you right now, currently as it stands, Dish Network is a smaller company compared to Sprint. Sprint
He's going in that it's more of a long shot that this will become a fourth competitor in the phone market. He has a point there. This is a smaller network, a smaller company compared to Sprint, but they do quality stuff. So I'll let you listen to the rest of what he has to say on this.
has their issues, they have their debt, but they're still able to spend more on a yearly basis if you're comparing at the Dish. So how is Dish magically going to become that fourth carrier that can sufficiently compete on their own without an MVNO agreement? That's my question.
I will leave the link in the description below for this video. Don't you worry, guys. I will leave the link for this video. And go check out Tech Life channel for more information on this. I'm using him as a credible source. You can use CNBC, CNET to get more information on this. For more information on this, I will leave the links in the description below for this video, for other videos that this guy has done. He's a good source for the merger, where how he gets his information. But yes, guys, this might happen, this might not happen. It just depends on the situation at hand. But I think, in my opinion, it will still go through, even if Sprint, even if Dish is smaller. With this merger, I think they could become a bigger threat, not just in the cell phone market, but in the satellite broadcast business, in my opinion.
Because Dish has set aside 10 billion for a 5G rollout, which of course they don't have to worry about any legacy networks because they're going strictly brand new everything. They're going right into 5G, and then the agreement that they made with the FCC
And they did agree with the SEC about this. Sorry guys about the noise here, but
potentially has them putting 70% of their network assets to use across the nation, which would still leave 100 million Americans without a fourth option. So this is turning into a bit of a mess, in my opinion, because
I'm gonna agree with him here on that. It is a bit of a mess right now. Millions of Americans without a fourth. If this happens, it could leave millions of Americans without a fourth carrier. But at the moment, we don't know what's going on in the courts. It doesn't know what's going on with T-Mobile and Sprint at the moment. Right now, if this happens, T-Mobile could become a bigger competitor in the market of cell phones, cell phone leasing, cell phone buying, service in general. Now, at the moment, I don't know. We'll just have to trust the process, so forth and so forth. Here's another link in his description. This is a link to another video right here. He goes in more in detail about this not this merger, but in general. So check it out. But also, my main concern is about the merger. Would the court still sue after the fact it's gone through? After the merger's gone through and T-Mobile started equating sites and equating Sprint stores in general from Sprint themselves. At the moment, I think this could be a real concern for customers. But I know what T-Mobile's plan is to merge current customers with Sprint over to T-Mobile server, T-Mobile's towers, T-Mobile service. In my retrospect, that's a good thing to do, because right now Sprint really hasn't been able to upgrade really and innovate their towers, because I think money or concerns, I don't know. But it's complicated with Sprint. Sprint has issues here and there in multiple areas that they really haven't improved on since the turn of the 2010s. And even more so, they stopped sponsoring certain areas. Like they used to sponsor certain sports here in the States. They stopped. I don't know if it was money constraint or they just couldn't do it. Especially with the fact that the sports they were sponsoring were bringing a bunch of customers each month. So, and the bottom line is, it looks like this merger is becoming a little bit of a mess in the process. Not just a mess in the process, but also becoming more and more like it could be phasing out. But I will keep you updated as much as possible if I see any more news about it or logs. online, and I'll show you that. But at the meantime, this is Intuitive Farce signing off on the update of T-Mobile and Sprint mergers. I have a good evening and have a good night.